Hey, troops, Warfare Geeks Adventures. Woohoo! So, geeks across the planet sort of kind of got a Valentine's Day present from Warner Brothers, DC, AT&T, whatever they're called, in the form of the Justice League Snyder Cut trailer, the newest one. Woo! Or, depending on how you want to look at it. This entire thing over the years has been interesting. This is actually, I imagine there's probably a documentary. There's probably a bunch of people who do documentaries for HBO who are also geeks. They're just looking at all this and going, man, this is a series waiting to be made. I mean, as much as this is kind of DC Warner Brothers version of the Avengers Infinity Cycle and yada yada yada. On film, the behind the scenes insanity. Wow. So to have this, now it's all culminating in this uber-sized director Snyder Cut 4 hours of DC superhero overload. So how does the new trailer look? It's dark. You thought the rest of this stuff was dark. Holy cow. Okay, actually, let me preface all this. I like this stuff. All right. Now, okay. Put the bricks down. Don't throw anything at your device or your TV or whatever you're looking at. Okay, give me a second. Okay. I don't love the stuff. I don't adore the work. I have issues, yada, yada, yada. But I've always enjoyed what Snyder was trying to do. Trying to do a new take on the mythology for Superman, a new way of looking at him, how his character developed. The idea that someone that vastly powerful with so much potential being dropped into the 21st century, how complicated those decisions and choices and everything for that person would be. And from the onset, Clark's parents, Martha, sorry, it was there. Saw this as traditionally saw it as a blessing, yada, yada, yada. Jonathan was like, look, what you do is awesome, but world is really weird about stuff like that. So Jonathan was very ambivalent and wanted to let Clark make the choice. Back in the day in the 30s and 40s, it was hit responsibility, yada, yada, all that stuff. Jonathan was like, look, these folks, if you're lucky, they're going to look at you and go, thank you. If you're not lucky, they will hate you. They will vilify you. They may try and kill you. Case in point, Suicide Squad. So I've always liked how this entire series of stories was the long view. It wasn't just this, 10-second decision made on a gravestone and all that. This was the legit, I gotta think about this for my own sanity, because let's be blunt here. The last thing you want is for God to go crazy. And depending upon what reaction Clark gets when he puts on the cape and all that kind of stuff, and as we've seen in the films, as we've seen in real life, things get weird really fast. So I've enjoyed that aspect of the cycle that Snyder was trying to do. Now, how he went about it, that's a whole nother, there's long discussions and yada, yada, yada. So, the idea was that Justice League, whether it's part 1, part 2, or whatever, was going to be the culmination of all that. But of course, The powers that be and the money makers and the interesting way decisions are made at Warner Brothers decided that, this is where it's gonna stop. Until this wasn't where it was gonna stop. It's funny how, like I said, the backstory for this film is nuts. Yes, there's a Snyder Cut. No, there isn't a Snyder Cut. Well, maybe there's a Snyder Cut. Well, actually, there is, but blah, blah, blah. And all this, the long history of rumors, of denials, confirmations, re-denials, re-confirmations, and then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, we're doing this giant streaming service, and, oh, heck with it, we'll do the Snyder Cut. you know. If memory serves, this is the final trailer. This is going to be this will be released on HBO Max. And if memory serves, rather than kind of symptomatic of how this whole process has been really kind of, oh, we're going to do this. No, maybe not. Yeah, we are. Well, we're still thinking about it. Okay, fine, we're going to do it. I guess at first there was the idea this is going to be a miniseries, yada, yada, yada. But now apparently, from what I understand, it's just going to be one giant big fat movie that's going to be rated R. The rumor I've heard is rated R due to language and violence. So I've been joking with friends of mine off and on that Batman is the one who drops the F-bomb and Clark goes, language. Get it? Anyway. So now you're going, so dude, what about the dang trailer? Like I said, it's dark. The trailer is a lot of explosions and pyrotechnics and pew 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 and stuff. You see some clips of the Amazons fighting Steppenwolf. You see more action. There's this really cool shot actually of Cyborg with like a shoulder cannon that looked really kind of neat. You get to see clips of Superman, not just in the black containment suit that if you're a comic book fan, you recall from when it was the Return of Superman after he was killed by Doomsday. He had that black unitard. No, he's got a black suit with a cape and everything, so it kind of makes you, and unfortunately, he looks kind of pissed with blazing heat vision. So it's like, which in turn kind of begs the question. We've seen if you recall, there was that dream sequence that Bruce has, where he's in the giant leather overcoat and Superman kind of goes all rogue and yada yada yada. Remember in Justice League how everyone's going, well, could be good Superman when we bring him back, or could be Pet Cemetery Superman when we bring him back. Kind of wonder if maybe this was Pet Cemetery Superman. This is purely conjecture on my part, so I don't know, whatever. There's a surprising amount of clips from the dream sequence. Or is that not a dream sequence and a time jump, or who knows what? Because there's also a few more shots of the Flash. Looks like doing a dimensional Flashpoint-esque dimensional jump of some sort. So it kind of makes me wonder where all of this is going to fit in. And one of the things I do like about all this is there is a lot of emphasis on Darkseid. The fact that they really, in the end, Justice League ended up being kind of, in its original format, Justice League ended up being kind of diluted, among other things. In that, it's about Steppenwolf. There is a mention of Darkseid and yada, 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 but it's really about taking on Steppenwolf. There's more. There is the heavy emphasis, there is really more. It's it's not just a foreshadowing. At least I'm hoping so. You get a nice shot of Darkseid. Looked really cool. Hey, McFarlane Toys. I wonder what your Build-A-Figure is going to be for your series of Justice League toys. Major tangents. I'll try and keep this short. This is based on some pre-order stuff that some folks have seen. Looks like they're doing a series of Justice League figures. I do not have official anything from McFarlane, but that's just what I've seen online. So take that with a big old 2-ton salt lick of salt. Anyway, so yeah, so there's a lot of the imagery looked really cool. A lot of potential for kind of adding a lot to the mythology that they were trying to introduce with Darkseid and yada. And you're going, you don't sound all about it. I've got mixed feelings. I've got mixed feelings about the whole thing. Because on the flip side, it's nice to see more pew 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 pew, and all boom boom. The issue that one of the multitude of issues with Man of Steel as well as Batman v Superman. It's rather interesting because Zack Snyder, one of the things I enjoyed from watching 300 was the creative way they did the fight choreography and all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of interesting how none of that was very creative in either of the fight scenes with the Kryptonians in Man of Steel or the big uber fight between Superman and Batman in Batman v Superman. So what did you do? We're going to take you and slam you into a building. That's what was happening a lot, We're going to take Superman's face and ram it into concrete. So I'm hoping, that this doesn't turn into, amongst everything that's being added on, it doesn't turn into 20 additional minutes of, are we done with the fight yet? There are only so many times you can take Steppenwolf's face and ram it into the side of a building, okay? So yeah, the other thing too is that it has been confirmed there is not going to be a Justice League 2, which in some ways is kind of a good thing because and some of you are also going, yeah, that's a really good thing. It's kind of a good thing for me at least in that considering how Warner Brothers, DC, who knows what they're trying to do with their film plans, it's this giant mishmash of stuff. So to try and still force feed this uber size epic story arcs kind of weird and awkward, because then folks like me who overthink all this stuff is like, well, so where does Robert Pattinson fit in, so how come Shazam was, you get into all this overthinking, yada, and it's like, is it worth it? The other thing for me is that the attempt, the unfortunate easy thing to do about all this is while this is going on, you look at the other camp with who, Marvel, and going, you guys, man. So unfortunately, this still kind of, in some ways, it feels like they're still trying to patch together, hey, see, we made our own version of the Avengers and yada, and it's like, well, part of the fun of the Avengers was the fact that was just one chapter in this giant, 10-year story arc. And like a lot of the work that's been done so far, this is still patchwork. You got little duct tape here, hot glue here, a little adhesive here, a little staple gun, to make it all fit together. So yeah, so I got in the end. Actually, here's something really interesting. You got all the stuff going on. The trailer ends with one of the things that, and actually one of the things I did have enjoyed. This goes along with Clark's decision about what he wants to do, about his choice to become Superman, yada yada yada. At the end, you hear this voiceover, someone talking about this is an age of heroes, yada yada yada. Voice sounds kind of familiar. It's Jared Leto's Joker. Very obviously, it is Jared Leto's Joker. And on top of that is Jared Leto's Joker. It looks like the way it's cut. It is talking to Bruce. It's talking to Batman while he's in the whole alternate reality, whatever that reality is. So, I kind of wonder, where does all this fit in? Again, the umpteen thing. Where does all this fit in, et cetera, so on and so forth. So you're going, so will you just tell me what the heck you think? It looks interesting. Looks like it can be fun. To be frank, the big warning. Man, this is gonna be dark. Oh boy. But honestly, it looks promising. And you're going, and I know y'all are going, you're still sounding kind of ambivalent about all those things. Yeah. We'll see. Literally in about 4 weeks, we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Hey, y'all take care. May the force be with you. May the odds be in your favor, especially while you're trying to find content to put on your giant size streaming service and trying to take on Disney Plus and Netflix and everybody else. And y'all take care, okay? And always be good to each other, okay, folks? Peace. Bye.